A common question we get from clients on an investigation is, can we use hidden cameras? And it's not a blanket statement. Hidden cameras have many different types of scenarios, but there was a very recent law that was upheld in a trial, murder trial actually, in Georgia. Supreme Court gave an opinion where this hidden camera was allowed to be used. And in this case, there was a person that was in a nursing home, long-term care home, that was mistreated, and they ended up dying. And their family had suspected something was going wrong, and they put a hidden camera in the room. And they found that the staff was mistreating this person, and some of that mistreatment led to their death. Well, the nursing home and the person who was arrested for the murder or manslaughter, allegedly, they tried to get this camera footage thrown out because it was illegal hidden camera. Well, the Supreme Court said that it was okay because that space was essentially not private to the nurse, and it was space that was being used at the advantage of the client. And state law permits surveillance video in some cases, right, where there's not a reasonable expectation of privacy. And again, don't use this as legal advice. Every state's different, every situation's different, but this is just one example. If you need legal advice, contact an attorney. The court is to approve the use of spy cameras will be saying that private locations is permissible, but that's not really true. The justices disagreed. They said that the nurse, Knuckles, had no reasonable expectation of privacy in that area. It wasn't like it was in the bathroom, right? And it was actually a space that was rented by the family, so it was in effect the family's domicile and their residence. Those were the particulars of this case. How does that apply in your case? Well, in most situations, nanny cams or baby cams are allowable to be used. Where you run into trouble is if you put a camera where somebody is expecting they're going to have privacy. If you hide a camera in somebody else's car, or if you hide a camera in somebody else's house, or if you put a camera even in your own house but in a place where somebody else is renting it and they expect privacy. A lot of times this comes up with Airbnbs or other short-term rentals. Can you put a camera in those? Those are sometimes determined by individual states. But using a hidden camera is something that there's no blanket prohibition on using them. It's just on a case-by-case basis based on the context of the person being recorded. In some cases, you can have the camera there, but if it starts to record something that's private, you have to shut it off or you can't use it. In some cases, the camera can be used, but you have to defeat the audio. And there's been cases with investigators where you put a camera, it's recording video, it's recording audio. Even if you mute the audio or don't listen to it or delete it later, the fact of recording the audio itself was a crime. So a lot of times what investigators will do, if there's a camera that's being put in that has a microphone, that you actually defeat the microphone. You take the wires off or cut the wires to the microphone, so only the video feed is what's recorded or monitored. So get some good legal advice and make sure you're working with a licensed investigator that knows the rules about hidden recordings before you go ahead and do it, because you could be held liable as a client if your investigator does something wrong.